So this is how I'm using ChatGPT as a 24-year-old designer. Why am I telling you my age? People do. Fuck it. This is how I'm using ChatGPT as a designer and a creative business owner in the most efficient, in the most interesting way. You will be glad to hear this. The best thing is, few years back, I would have to hire multiple people for each of these jobs, each of these things. And wait for the end, you get a very interesting thing made using ChatGPT, and it will greatly help you if you're a designer. Number one, each project gets its own chat. Okay, there are projects in ChatGPT also, but I do not use them. I only use projects for very few things like scripting or maybe dumps and all. But for clients, for each prospect I get, I use chat. And the moment the leads inquire, I just dump it down there. I see what they are looking for, how to crack that deal and all. I just dump everything that I know and I have learned and put it right in the chat. Any data, anything that comes that should be or could be shared with GPT, considering the sensitivity of the data, of course, are kept in that. Like what kind of things they're looking for, what kind of problems they're facing, and like contextual awareness, you can say, for each project, for each client. There is a one chat, as you can see, and this thing helps me a lot. Whenever I'm a bit lost on a project or I feel like everything is documented, but still, if I want a quick idea of what the story was or what the thing that made the founder start this company, like what was the thing that made them start this company, or what was the story behind it, what was the archetype that we finalized on, what were the things that made them realize that they should go in this direction, not in that direction, and even coming to those directions. So the more I chat, the more I give context, the more I explore, research and talk, the more clarity I get. And then I have to use my brain. We never ever rely on GPT, okay, or any tools. Use your brain, use your thinking, use your IQ. Just use it to filter it out things and filter out from the mess that you have, because creativity is chaotic, so everything is a mess. So for each client, as I mentioned, there are chats, and each chat have great context. Like I am using the pro plan, so the context awareness window is great. I don't lose out on any facts, and if there is some very sensitive fact, then I don't trust that. Okay, you don't trust blindly on AI. Make sure of that. And even the prospect, the deal that did not close, I can just search prospect and I can ask GPT that what made like all of these were not closed. What do you think could be the reason? Because I have updated that I have lost, I have won, I have lost, I have won, or it is like ghosted or something like that. So I also get an idea of how things are going on in the terms of business, and how I can improve, where I can improve. Sometimes you don't understand like how much option should I give to a prospect. They want to decrease the price. They don't want to decrease the deliverables. So you can just talk it out. You can see what business technique it can work. The best part is you can always ask GPT to reference a particular writer whose book you have read. For example, Rick Rubin's book. If I'm working on Martin Numer's brand book, so you can just ask it, of course, that what it can do in the lines of that, like what Numer said, what people out there in the industry, anyone it can be, respective to your domain. So you get proven frameworks present on the internet. You can ask how the big agencies are doing. So I'm just talking about how you can work on your client projects in a better way, in a more efficient way, in a more creative way, without losing your sanity. Because if you do all of these alone, you need a team. It is not wrong, but you need people for everything, and you can't expect people to be as efficient as an AI, of course. No offense here, don't hate me. Moving ahead. Next thing, deep research. So, for example, there was a client I was working on, if you were cookies, and I had to understand, or I just got curiosity that are social media grids working? Like the aesthetic, the visual presence of the grids are working or not. So I don't want to be biased. I personally don't use that, but maybe it works for the brands, for the businesses. So I just went on to deep research and asked, do a very in-depth research on what does social media grids and aesthetics are happening, like what exactly is happening in that industry, and what I can do, and what will be the best course of action for a client in a cookie industry or something like that. Just in brief context. It gave me it took me like 11 minutes, and it gave me great research material. Although the GPT and deep research doesn't go on marketplaces and live thing where CAPTCHA is there, but still the data that I got was great. I went through everything. When you do a deep research, you get a huge article, and you get citations where it is from. So it is valid, and you can just cross-check it just by going there. So I got to realize that social media grids and the content both are equivalent. You can't double down on anything. You need to look good, and you need to be very conscious and very sure what you are creating content on, because the visual thing, the visual part, the packaging and everything that looks like, how the brand page look like, matters only when someone finds your content interesting and decides to go on your profile. So that is the most important thing. Okay, like marketing and branding, both of things are important together. Moving ahead, image generation. Okay, recently I was working on a footwear project and I had very rough sketches of the footwear. The client is raising funding, so I had no visuals to work on. You know what I did? ChatGPT, yeah. GPT's image generation is great. I don't use any other tool, so GPT's image generation does almost everything. It takes time, it takes a lot of time, and you definitely need to do the post processing of the image because it looks this filter. Yeah, I've read this on Twitter. So it is shit in terms of color, the yellowish thing, but you can fix it. You can do it in the post. You can use Photoshop and everything. You're a designer. So best part, image generation. You need the patience. You can use multiple chats and do your thing while it is generating. And what I did was I just put out the sketch, got a 3D model, not a render, just a image, PNG image, and replace the shoes in real life scenarios, like how it might look like on a sports track or someone tying a knot. So just to give us a context of how this product will look like in the execution, or how the identity will play out. Because for a sportswear brand, for a footwear brand, the product is the hero. No matter what kind of no matter what kind of colors I'm using, the hero will always be the product. I was also restricted on the colors, black and white and grey. If you see Nike and Adidas, most of them are using like similar colors. Their product are hero here. So how do I create an identity without the visual? So I generated it, and that's how it helped. And that will definitely not go in the real world because there is just an exploration, and we are working on the 3D exploration, 3D part, and the photo shoot and everything will be done once the identity is finalized. It is now. So this helped me to sell my idea in the best way. Moving ahead, podcast growth. So now I have a podcast and you should check that out. Dhamki nahi hai. No, I'm not kidding. Okay, chalo. So the podcast is great. The podcast and social media content, I'm using it a lot. I just dump my ideas, cross-check it, see if it is aligning with my personal brand. I have trained the chat. I always use chat and don't use projects. So I have trained my chat in such a way that it knows what kind of content I am making or what kind of personal brand I'm trying to make. Even this video is not by an idea. Most of the ideas for content are mine, but to structure it in a way that it is in the best format possible, I use GPT. And I just dump it there. If I'm walking, I just dump in a notes and I see if these can be cross-posted or extended, whatever you call it. It can be cross-pollination, whatever they say, on multiple platforms and those stuff. It is not called cross-pollination, so sorry for that. Cross-post. So that's around the content part. Moving ahead, design critique. This is the best thing because I suck at design is what I feel always. The imposter syndrome is always there, the self-doubt, everything is there. No matter how hard I try, I don't even realize if I'm doing it or not. But when I see my old design, then I realize that okay, I have improved. I got to know about grids and layout very later in my career, so that was a pretty bummer. But now using ChatGPT, what I do is that I have a chat called Design Mentor, and I have mentioned and I have trained him so that you have to act as a creative director and designer and whatever, all those stuff, and just make me a better designer. Think about how the creative agencies are doing, creative designers are doing and all those stuff, and critique me how it can be done better and what is better. It also helps me to understand and analyze the work that is present online. So whenever I see a great poster or a great design or a great identity, I just put it in the GPT and ask it to teach me what is going on, what and how are they making it so beautiful or good, and how it caught my attention. There is something that I usually like in each images, like I love how they have extended the identity beyond the logo. So how did they do that? What is going on here? So it breaks it down in a very interesting way, and I love that, and I keep reading it and I just consume it in the best possible way, you can say. And I also sometimes, if I want, I do keep doing experiments. I keep creating for myself. So I just watch, if I finish any series or anime, I just make a poster out of it. Naruto, One Piece, all of these things I have made, and I can put it in GPT and ask for a critique. I usually do, but sometimes I don't, because those are things that I created for myself and I don't want critique. So it's just there. Sometimes that is also necessary. The artistic side has to be there. You should do that. Moving ahead, business plan. Okay, now this chat is my co-founder, honestly. What kind of deal should I take? What kind of market should I take? Tackle, tap, whatever the learnings that I have from my business coaching, from meeting people, from IRW, from multiple things. I just dump it here. I have a Notion document also. I rarely use Notion, but I just keep it for documenting purpose. So I just copy paste it, dump it here. And whenever I face a problem or a interesting idea for business plan to expand my thing and everything, I just go there. I sit down, I dump everything, I just speak it like this, and it gives me great clarity, honestly. Now, the thin line here is be very sure what you are telling it. And don't take everything that it says like it is a line on a rock. Okay, pata nahi kya bol raha hai. But take it with a bag of salt. Okay, don't blindly follow whatever it is telling you. Otherwise, you will be just running here and there because it doesn't know if it is right or wrong. You have to be very sure what you are trying to say and what you are trying to achieve and what it is telling. Is it what you are looking for or not? Is it something that you were not sure of and it gave you something that, oh, this is interesting, I can do this. Sometimes what happens is that GPT or any AI tool act like an echo chamber. So you have to do things or you have to prompt in such a way that it breaks that echo chamber. It doesn't just admire and adjure you and just keep doing things like dumb slave, whatever else. So you should not let GPT go and run wild with it without thinking. That's the most important thing for business. Moving ahead, finances, which is very bad. My finances are the worst thing in my entire life, I would say. So I just use it to see where should I invest and not stock market, normal, like if I get a specific amount of money, how should I distribute it? I don't follow any 50, 20, 30 rule. I don't know about anything. I am very bad with finance. I just use it. Which card bill to pay early, which one to pay later, and all those stuff. Goals. Okay, this is also something on the business line. Like it is, you can say, I always have an initial or immediate plan of action on an yearly basis. Some people work on 90 days. I work on a yearly basis. Last year I had a plan of quitting my job. That was not a plan, by the way, but it still was. Getting an iPhone. Regarding with that, grateful. I got an iPad. I already had an iPad. I got an iPhone and a MacBook now. I'm good, happy. Okay. So it was a goal which was completed on 31st December. Man, Rahul, thank you so much. My friend helped me. So that is one of the things that I've used. Like I did not use GPT to get iPhone, that definitely not, but I just dump it there, keep it there. Rarely check it, but I just, whenever I feel like I'm lost or I'm not sure what I'm doing or why I'm doing, then I just go there and see goal, what is the goal, what I can do to get to the goal. Right now, my immediate plan of action is to get out of India, go to London, spend some time there, see how design scene is outside of India, what is India missing. I don't know why I keep coming back to this thing that design scene in India is shit, honestly. I have to make a video on that. Moving ahead, website. I don't have a website. I am using ChatGPT to work on my website. Okay, I don't use for website. It is for websites, SEO, SEO and everything, like the content, the copy. Earlier I used it a year back and it was shit because I did not know how to use the prompts. I was a bad prompt engineer then. I'm a better one now. Yes, that is also profession. So I use GPT to crawl the website to see what can be done better. I'm using a template, so I don't have to worry about the UX. Now, interesting thing, I even made 2 AI agents using GPT. It was to scrape some podcast from Spotify API and sort it out based on how they are relevant to my specific ICP, and then sort it out to how relevant their thumbnail or the cover image was, and then rank it in Excel sheet. It was a very fun project. 2 days I woke up till 5 am, still 5 am. So 2 days I woke up till 5 am, 6 am, and I finished that agent. And I used N10 free plan, 500 rupees of credit on OpenAI. So not much of an expense, but then I got bored and nothing worked in that actually. I got a couple of leads from that, but no one closed because identity in podcast is luxury. I will be completely honest, it is a luxury. If they can afford, they are only going to pay, then hard realization. Not everything is worth pursuing, but you should do the experiment. Okay, now I'm playing with Comet Play Perplexity browser. So I'm doing few things on the outreach part and prospecting. So let's see how it goes and I will keep you updated. Do subscribe my channel. Okay, now next one, the dump. This is like the most important thing for me that I'm using ChatGPT for. Most of the time there are so many things that are going on in my head and I don't know who to. It's not like I don't have friends. I do have it. I do talk to them. But also there are things that I need to get clarity on. There are like wild thoughts. I can't expect everyone to just answer me. So I use GPT to just do a brain dump of anything, any moment of time. And I have completed like 4 or 5 chats. Like I have exhausted the chat limit. So I'm on like 5th chat right now. So it is the most important thing for me right now for GPT. Yeah. On a daily basis, I'm talking to it like it is my best friend, and that's pretty much it. But it definitely helps. Okay. Little decisions. What should I have before my workout? A banana or a pre-workout? What to have before? What to have after? Things like this. So a great tool. You should try it. But don't close your mind or close your thinking skills. Don't blindly trust it. Be very sure. Sometimes I just dump it and forget to see what it just said, because getting it out of your head and system is very important, and that's what it does. And it also helps me build my communication skills, because most of the time I speak, and I love that. That is it. Now one more thing I use this for is blogs and contents on LinkedIn and like text-based content. So I'm not very active on Twitter and LinkedIn and all those stuff, and I tried posting using AI generated content, but that never worked. But whenever I have a very great story or an experience to tell, I just write it down, go to GPT, dump it there, improve it. And I always make sure that the prompt that I'm writing is good, and it is clearly mentioned that you have to write like me, and no hyphens. Using hyphen is a sin, like those things. And one time I shared this story, and I got like a couple of comments that were like, great storytelling. And yeah, it was great. I love, like, the whole post, the article was not at all feeling like GPT. So I like that. I use that frequently, and I rarely write scripts for my videos. This whole video is unscripted, so I don't use that for scripting. And if I have to do ideation, as I mentioned, ideation is the most important thing for content that I use GPT for, dumping and sorting things. And now the best part, the script. I used like GPT-5 is great. It just uses whatever it is required, and it does everything. The coding is beautiful. I am an engineer by degree, if you don't know. So I just tried GPT-5 to create 3 scripts. I have listed them on Gumroad. You can check the link in description. It is about Illustrator. 2 are for Illustrator and 1 for Photoshop. Photoshop one is very minor, very small. Illustrator one is great. One is for renaming artboard. Just rename the artboard in whatever format you want, prefix, suffix, the formatting of numbering and everything. Anything you want to add or delete, all those stuff. Bento Grid. This is the fun part. Who doesn't love Bento now? So Bento Grid Generator for Illustrator. And third one is Photoshop's Gradient Rasterizer. So if you're using Photoshop for a while, you know that when you are using gradient layer in any of the artboards, and when you export them, they are messed up. They are completely messed up. So you have to rasterize each of them. So I just made a script that one click on the script and all the gradient layer in that file gets rasterized immediately. It saves time. I hope it helps. And so that was it. That was the video. It is all about how I'm using GPT, and no, AI is not going to take my job. I won't let it, and you should not also. So let's kill AI together. Not kill AI. Let's use AI together in the most efficient way and create things that we are meant to create, like these videos and everything, and whatever you love to. बाकी मिलते हैं अगले में. Don't close your head. Don't stop thinking while using AI. Okay, that's for this. See you in the next one. Bye bye.